Don't, oh, who's gonna make the first move? I don't want to. Who cares, bro? You have to shoot your friendship shots, and you have to do it shamelessly, even if you're afraid or oh, it's gonna be awkward. Like, I promise, so many girlies don't have friends. You would not believe how often I'm on TikTok and comment, and the TikTok is about like partying or something like that, and all the comments are all these really pretty girls saying, huh, I have no friends though. LOL, but I have no friends for this. LOL, I have no friends for this. Like, dang, it seems like everyone has friends and everyone also doesn't have friends. Hello, my beautiful subscribers. I have missed you. I wish I could totally mean that. I'm not gonna lie, I've been procrastinating making another video because I wanted to make sure it was good and y'all actually watch the shit. So I have come to the conclusion that, wait, I have not made a video about friendship yet. And I've mentioned this topic in several other videos in the past, and I think I actually mentioned it in my last video, and I said I was gonna make that next if y'all wanted it, and somebody did comment and say they wanted it. So I was like, wait a minute, boom, new video. I'm here to tell y'all how I am making friends in my 20s. Also, peep the new hair. Peep the new hair. Not gonna get too much into that because I really just want to get this video started. But yeah, so friendship, God, making friends has been such a big deal and such a big part of my life. My entire life, I've always been that girl who, like, I don't even want to say struggle to make friends because that's not all the way true. I've always had friends, but I've always been that girl that, like, everybody was cool with her, everybody fucked with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone like, hey Maui, hey Maui. Like, I was always cool with everyone, but I never really had my own group. I was always the additional friend to everyone else's group. And that sucked. Like, it was cool. Like, I got by on that, you know, and throughout the years, I've managed to have, like, random friend groups. You know, I always made sure I was good. I always made sure I could have somewhat of a normal social experience, but it was never really good enough to me. So, elementary school, childhood, always had friends. Again, never like a clique per se, but like just random people just all over the place, right? I had two best friends in middle school. One I do not talk to at all. The other one I talk to occasionally. Still my childhood bestie. I'll always refer to her as my best friend, but we don't really speak like that besides each other's birthdays and maybe like Christmas, honestly. And then when I got to high school, didn't go to the same high school as those two friends, but in high school, again, very randomized, all over the place. I was just like additional to everyone else's group, you know, which made like eating lunch kind of hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I hated high school because I didn't have my own friends, you know, up until like junior senior year when I forced it, right? Because I got tired of like having to join a random person's table at lunch. Like, the shit was awkward and I hated it. I'm like, I don't want to have to invite myself everywhere. Like, that sucks, right? And I feel like maybe the main reason why I struggled to make friends was I didn't really know how to start with people. You know, I'm very straightforward. Like, I wanted to deadass just be like, hey, want to be friends? Like, I hate that you can't really do that because that's considered weird, you know? Like, not really to me now. I don't really give a fuck now. But back then, I'm like, dang, how do I even make friends? Especially if you're like transferring schools or something. Like, I transferred schools a couple different times. So I would come in later in the school year and it was like everybody was already best friends. You know, a lot of people have that no new friends, no new mentality where they're just like, I have my bestie, I have my clique, I don't want to meet anybody new. And when everyone around you is like that, it's like, damn, like, how do I even make friends then? So it was really awkward. I hated high school because of that. Only time I had my own clique per se in high school was about junior year. I'd gathered the girlies who also didn't really have friends, right, who were cool. I was cool with them, but I noticed they also didn't have a clique, and I forced us to become a clique. And that was my little friend group junior and senior year of high school. Don't speak to any of them now because, again, it was very like a forced friend group. Not that we weren't like cool, but it was very much like we definitely got together because we all wanted to just be in a group, you know what I mean? So I don't speak to them now. Hope they're doing well, you know, but we're not currently friends. Did the same thing in college. Got to college, same thing. Very hard to make friends. It felt like when I got there, everyone was already clicked up. Okay, the only friend I had was my current best friend, Ike. Love her so much. Hope you watch this. If you're not watching this, okay, love you so much. She was my roommate freshman year, actually, and we both kind of struggled to make friends. We were like each other's only friend. Again, I was cool with everybody. Everybody messed with me, but again, they all had their own cliques. I just wasn't included in that clique. I was just cool Maui. By the time I got back to college in person, 2021, when COVID was like not done, but you know, schools were open, I was on a mission. Like, I'm gonna make a friend group. I want my own friends. Gosh darn it. Okay, I want my friends. So making sure this is still recording. Okay, so I did the same thing I did in high school. I basically found a bunch of girls that also didn't have any friends, that were also new. I grabbed one girl who was a year below me, so she was a sophomore, which was basically her freshman year, right? So I knew she ain't had no friends because she's just on campus for the first time today. And another girl who was a transfer, she was in my year, but she's a transfer, so she also don't know nobody, right? Took them, wasn't that close again with Ike just yet. She had come in the picture a little bit later in the year. Because me and her were friends freshman year, but we didn't stay that close during COVID, right? So I wasn't close with her again. So I took those two girls, found, again, other girls who wanted to hang, and again, same thing, forced us into a clique. It was very fun. It was satisfying. It satisfied my need to have a friend group throughout college, and I'm glad that it happened like that. But because it was the same situation as it was in high school, where it was like, ain't none of us got friends, we're just kind of hanging to hang, I'm not friends with any of them anymore, besides Ike and one other person. And now that I've since graduated college and have been out of college for a full year now, I have basically been put in a position where I have to make friends from scratch. I'm starting from scratch. I'm Nara Smithing my friendships. I'm Nara Smithing my social life. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I'm making adult friendships that not only are fun, but actually last long. Like, I'm actually putting the effort in to make sure, like, all right, like, these people, we align, right? They're not just friends, like, oh, you don't have no friends? Cool, let's hang. Like, no, we actually have things in common. We actually like to do the same things, and we actually hang out, and we can actually introduce each other to more friends. So, there's 3 points I want to mention. The first thing, point number 1 of how you are going to make friends. How I'm making friends, but how you are going to go make friends. I'm 23 years old right now. Been out of school for a year. Okay? I've had these friends. Some of these friends that I'm going to mention in this video from this point forward are friends I have made within this year since leaving college and not really hanging with anyone from school. Again, starting from scratch, no friends basically out here in Los Angeles. And other friends I've literally been making like this week. Like, there are girls I'm meeting up this week because I'm serious. I'm serious about this friendship shit, okay? So, thing number one, events. You want to go to events. This can be scary, okay? I've been struggling to navigate this, but I've been forcing myself to go through it anyways, despite the fear, because I really do want friends. Like, I have noticed that I've spent far too many times in my life, you know, not having the fun I wanted to have because, oh, I don't have friends for that, right? Oh, I can't do that. Like, oh, I can't just pull up to this thing by myself. And yeah, you might feel like you can't, but you really can. And honestly, it might take a little leap of faith to go live the life you want. So with that being said, how do I find events? So I live in Los Angeles. How I've been finding events, specifically Black events, because I'm looking to be in Black spaces and to be a part of Los Angeles's Black community. So I'm specifically looking at Black events, but not only Black events. I go out and do whatever. So I go on TikTok. There's this girl, Jocelyn. If you search Jocelyn Black LA on TikTok, if I remember to link her in the description, I will do that. Jocelyn Black LA events. She is the plug. She always has the best events. Events meaning parties, like nighttime parties, bar type of parties, day parties, festivals, shows, hiking events, walking events, run clubs, literally anything social. She is the plug for all the Black stuff in general. Like, you're not only gonna find Black people at the events that she posts, but she's the plug for events. I like her. There's someone else I can't remember. I'll put it in the screen if I remember. Another Black girl. She also does Black events. Both of them are the plugs for me. I go through them for basically anything. When I'm trying to go out, what's the move this weekend? I'm looking up their pages. At this point, I don't really need to do that because I've gone to so many different events. I'm just on the list naturally for so many different clubs, bars, things. I just get emails and texts about things, which is convenient, so I don't really need to figure out my moves anymore. I know what I can do. Like, I have options already. But yeah, so events. That is the main way I've been able to make friends. I will literally just pull up. It takes a lot of courage. I know, it's scary. I'm not a perfect person. It's scary for me too. I'm going to give you guys 2 stories of how I met 2 friends that I currently hang with. One of those friends I've had for 2 full years now. And the other friend I met probably last summer or like late last year, and we've hung out like 3 times now. We're gonna hang out again this weekend. So I'm gonna tell you the story of how I met both of them. So first friend, Skylar, met her at Leimert Park on Juneteenth 2 years ago. It is Juneteenth this weekend. Okay, so it's about to be our little friendship anniversary again, and she's not even gonna be here. Can you guys believe that? She's leaving me hanging. She's not even gonna be here this weekend. But anyway, I met Skylar 2 years ago, 2 summers ago. because it was the summer before my senior year. At that time, I still had my little friend group, but we were kind of falling apart-ish, and plus, like, no one was here for the summer. So it was like, A, the friends that would go out, like, weren't here, or B, they were in LA for the summer, but, like, lame. Like, they didn't want to go out. And I told myself, I was like, no, this is my first Los Angeles in the summer. This is my first summer in LA. I want to have fun, do all the cool black shit, and just go out. I want to be outside. I love to be outside. Like, I've always, like, attracted friends, I guess, that, like, were homebodies, and, like, that's cool, like, no shade, but I'm not. I want to be outside. And I always just, I guess, kept settling for friends that told me from jump, like, yeah, I don't like to have fun. And they'll say that with those words, like, yeah, I'm boring, like, I don't want to go nowhere, like, I love to be in the house. I've had several friends like this, and I'll just, like, keep begging them to party with me every weekend, and they'll go, like, half the time. But I don't deserve to have a friend that's, like, not gonna be on the wave of what I'm trying to do. Like, we're not compatible then. Like, it's no shade, I wish you well, but, like, we're not compatible in the friendship. As awkward as it is sometimes to be yourself with the fear of being perceived, I had to muster up the courage all day. I pulled up to Lamert, like, right as it was closing. Like, literally, if it was over at 7, I got there, like, 6:15 at best. Like, I barely went because I was scared. Just like y'all, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's awkward. Like, I was, 21 at the time? So it took a lot of courage to get me to actually go. Like, I parked, and as I was walking, I was like, fuck, like, I'm literally walking in by myself. Like, it's weird. It wasn't that bad once I got in. Honestly, everyone looked so good. I just kept complimenting girls. That's my main thing. You want to make some friends? Tip number 1, compliments. And you just gotta pray that the person you compliment wants to continue the conversation. People don't always continue the conversation. People compliment me, and if I don't feel like talking, or I'm in a rush, or whatever it may be, I'll just say thanks, keep it moving, and I'll go. You know, I'll just keep it moving, and that's, like, fine. That's, like, that'll happen, but you just, you know, keep shooting your friendship shot. So what I did, I walked in there, and I was just like, oh my god, I love your outfit. Oh, I love your braids. Oh, you're so pretty. Like, just compliments flying. Even with the guys. I don't think I complimented any guys that day. I have before, but I didn't do it that day. But everyone just looked good. It was just very casual. I was just telling everybody how good they looked. Some conversations continued a little longer. I got some Instagrams. I'm like, oh yeah, like, you did this, you went here, cool. And then people will keep moving with their groups or whatever. And how I met Skylar was, she was someone else I complimented. It was her and her roommate Angie, also friends with Angie, but me and Skylar were closer. Complimented her. Her and Angie were in line. They were in a food truck line, and I was also hungry and thinking about a food truck. So once I had complimented her, I complimented on her hair, because both of us were bald. We both had just big chops and had short natural hair. We both have, like, small features, small noses and lips. Like, we're honestly, like, the same type. It was kind of funny. I was like, wait, like, you look like me. Right? So, and she caught the vibe. Like, she kept talking, and we just kept talking to each other. I kept talking to Angie, you know, and the three of us are talking. And I was like, whatever, I'm gonna just hop in line with y'all at the food truck. Okay, I'm gonna just hop in line with y'all. And I did that, and boom. Connection made, connection done. Out of all the girls I talked to, and it wasn't many, I maybe complimented, I don't know, it was 2 years ago. I'm gonna say, like, less than 10. Like, I didn't talk to everyone. I wasn't that, I still had anxiety, right? Like, I was still like, oh my god, like, I'm by myself. Skylar, like, we hit it off, was with them the rest of the night, was in that food truck line up until we got to the front, and of course they ran out of food, like a typical Jamaican spot, okay? And I'm Jamaican, so I can talk shit, because Jamaicans be running out of food every time, right? And after that, we were talking to other people trying to find the move. Like, we were content to be together the rest of the night. We were like, all right, like, what are we doing next? We were like, what's going on? We ended up going to freaking TGI Fridays. Just going to, like, the bar, got something to eat real quick, just vibing, getting to know each other. Thought about going to a party after that, and we decided to call it. Instead, we're like, all right, like, none of these moves are feeling like the move, so let's go. And basically, because of that connection I had made with her that night, I invited her to the Walk Good yoga thing I was going to do. Again, was going to go alone. But I was like, hey, doing this free yoga thing, like, you should come with too. She came. Angie didn't come. Don't remember why she didn't come. But Skylar came, and boom. Like that, we done spent the whole weekend together. And we are besties to this day. It's been 2 years. I figured through that successful weekend, I would have at least made a friend that I could party with sometimes. But I didn't expect that she would literally be my go-to buddy. To this day, right now, currently, she's my only friend that likes to party. She's the only person in my life that likes to go out. Right now, I'm currently seeking friendship applications in Los Angeles. Currently seeking friendship applications for the baddies that like to be outside, that like to have fun. Like, you don't have to drink or smoke or do any of that necessarily, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I want. You don't have to, but I like girls that like to party. Sky likes to party, so we party together. And you could not have told me that we were gonna be this close. We go out like damn near every weekend, unless I'm out of town or she's out of town or we're busy or like don't feel like it on occasion, you know. Typically we hang every weekend, and we don't always go out. The friendship has actually extended past just regular going to parties, which was the whole reason I like went out that day. I was looking for friends to party with. She became a friend that not only do I party with, like I can confide in her, we confide in each other. We'll do movie nights, like we do other stuff too. Like she's a genuine friend now, like a genuine friend. We're in this same age group. She's a few years older than me. She lives nearby. Like that's my girl for real. Like, and that's all because I had the courage. Okay, I was scared the whole time. I had the courage to leave out my house by myself and go to Leimert. So that's example number 1 of going to an event where I made a friend. Story time number 1. Story time number 2. This is gonna be a little shorter. Walk Good. Again, Walk Good LA. Gonna shout them out again because I love Walk Good. That same yoga thing that I went to with Skylar, that's a recurring thing. So they don't really do it anymore. It used to be like most Sundays they would do it for free in random parks in LA. Now that they have an actual space, it's usually paid for. But there have been a couple free ones since then. So I went to a free Walk Good yoga thing sometime late last year. I can't remember when it was. Went by myself. At this point, I'm not as scared to do the yoga thing by myself because everyone really pulls up alone. And I'll try to mingle. Again, I'm not always that social. Like, I'll talk if it feels... I'll say something if I have something to say. If there's a compliment I want to give or there's a natural way to start a conversation, I'll say it. But I'm not going to force myself to go start talking to everybody because, oh, I need to make friends, Because that's weird. Like, if there's not anything to really say, then you could end up having a really awkward conversation if it's very obvious that you're forcing it because you're trying to make friends. So don't force it. Just let it happen. With Skylar, honestly, it was natural because she felt like talking to me too. And so, yeah. So yoga, did it by myself. Aaliyah, this girl, baddest, cutest, most coquette, TikTok girly, pink Pilates princess, pink yoga fit on. I was like, dang, like she, like my kind of vibe. Like she's a girly girl. And I peeped her when I walked in. When I walked at the start of the yoga, when I put my mat down, I like turned around and I saw her. She was later than me, so I saw her like walking up, and I was like, oh my god, cute outfit. I want to talk to her later. I had something to say. It's easy to make friends when you have something to say. That's tip number 2. When you're talking to friends, have something to say, whether it's a compliment or just something. Like, you have a way to start a conversation. If there's nothing to talk about, then you're gonna force it when you go to talk to them. So find something to talk about if there is anything to talk about. And it's okay if there is nothing to talk about. So with Aaliyah, did the yoga flow. It was like an hour long, and at the end I see her leaving, and I again had to work up the courage because I didn't want to be awkward, because I literally seen her at the top of the yoga, and I was like, oh my god, I'm thinking about her for a full hour. I'm gonna go approach her, like I feel weird about this, but I wanted to say something. So we're all leaving, we're all walking towards the car, and I made sure I walked in the direction that she walked in so I could go talk to her. And I was like, hey, like, I love your outfit, like, I love the pink, like, that's my vibe. And we spoke. Again, she, just like Skylar, wanted a friend. So she spoke to me past just saying thanks and leaving, right? She was like, oh, thanks. I don't really remember what we spoke about, but got each other's Instagrams. Didn't immediately go to hang with her. I kind of forgot about the whole ordeal. But to make a very long story short with her, because I'm trying to get to my points 2 and 3 so I can wrap up this video before it gets too long. Aaliyah, I ran into her again like a few weeks ago, or a month to a few weeks ago, at another not Walk Good event. This is a Jocelyn event. The TikTok girl, yeah. She had posted about a Leimert community walk. Again, went to this alone. At this point, I'm not as scared to go to things alone, but it was still kind of weird. I thought about inviting Skylar, but I was like, nope, I gotta keep my habit of going to things alone, right? Went there, and I see Leah again. I was like, wait a minute, hey, like, pause, like, hey girl, like, how you been? Like, oh my god, like, we never actually hung out. Like, wait, what's that about? We had gone to a movie together that night, because I'm like, wait, it's Saturday, like I was gonna go to this thing with Skylar, like, wanna come? And boom, now me, Skylar, and Aaliyah hung out. We were out till like 5 a.m., y'all. We had a time. crazy night, like actually like crazy night. We had a really fun night, but yeah, she is somebody that I didn't really force with her. I just complimented her, and she came back around because clearly the universe wanted her in my life, and we're gonna hang again this weekend. So that's 2 people I've met through going to events by myself. That is point number 1. Point number 1 was events. Point number 2, Bumble BFF. Bumble BFF is the most amazing way to make friends in your 20s. I'm not gonna lie, it's been successful. Like, it takes, again, effort. You have to be intentional, but I like that. I keep looking because I want to make sure that my storage isn't out. But I like that. Right, so I've been using Bumble BFF since like last October, when I had gone to cut off a friend because same things I mentioned earlier. Like, she doesn't really like to go out, and I was like, you know what, like I can't do this. Like, I need friends that want to party with me, because I'm miserable if I have to stay in the house every weekend whilst looking at everyone's lives when they're outside. Like, no, I want friends that like to party and like to go out. So and sometime in October, I literally went on Bumble, matching with all these just beautiful women. Oh my God, all the same interests. Like, it's just so fun. Like, everybody's just so pretty, interested in the same stuff as you. It's very easy to just match. And what I do, okay, and this is point number 3. I'm going to bring up point number 3 as I talk about point number 2. Point number 3 is follow up with them / being intentional. So you have to be intentional. When you're on Bumble, as soon as I match with somebody, don't, oh, who's going to make the first move? I don't want to, who cares, bro? You have to shoot your friendship shots. And you have to do it shamelessly, even if you're afraid or, oh, it's going to be awkward. Like, I promise, so many girlies don't have friends. You would not believe how often I'm on TikTok in comments, and the TikTok is about like partying or something like that, and all the comments are all these really pretty girls saying, I have no friends though. LOL, I have no friends for this. LOL, I have no friends for this. Like, dang, it seems like everyone has friends and everyone also doesn't have friends. So clearly, I have no reason to feel embarrassed about like hitting them up first. So I don't really give a shit, honestly. As soon as I match on Bumble, I'm texting, hey, oh my God, you're so pretty, let's meet up. Or I'm like, hey, how are you? I'll like comment on something on their profile, or immediately just skip to like, yeah, like, let's meet, let's go coffee. My thing, honestly, when I first meet someone on Bumble, is always like a coffee date, matcha, you know, go to a cafe, something, just to meet them in real life to see if we vibe. And once we do that, then I just start inviting them out to party with me, honestly. I want friends in general to do other things too. Like, I love hiking, I love going outside and just other events, but primarily I want like a social life. So as soon as I know like you're a real person and you're cool and we vibe, I'm gonna just start inviting you out to parties. So I've met like 3 or 4 new girls on Bumble in the last 2 weeks. 2 of them I need to text back right now, because I just DM'd 2 girls yesterday to ask if they wanted to meet for coffee this week. Hopefully they said yes. I'm gonna assume they said yes when I go and check my messages. But yeah, that's all it takes. You gotta be intentional. That's step number 3. Be intentional. Hey, let's hang out. And as far as the following up thing, as soon as y'all hang up the first time, don't forget, or hang out, sorry. As soon as y'all hang out the first time, don't forget to hang out with them again. Like, again, don't feel no kind of way about being the only person to text. I don't mind being the only person putting in effort for now, if that's what it takes to like build a friendship. Like, that's okay with me, because I'd rather have friends than not have friends. So one of the girlies I met last week, I'm gonna make sure after this video, I'm gonna text her now that I have her number. I'm gonna be like, hey, it's Juneteenth this weekend. Like, what do you plan on doing? If you're the one that wants friends, like you really want friends, which if you're watching this video, then you definitely want to actually try to make friends. You might have to be the person the first couple times that plans the move. You might have to text first, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean the person you're texting doesn't want to be friends. I think honestly, some people are just they don't have like a go-getter mindset. I think some people just have desires but do nothing about them. Because someone might want to be friends with you, somebody might want friends, but they're not really gonna, you know, remember to, oh shit, like I have to actually like plan a day, a time, and a place to hang out with said friend, you know? So you might have to be the person to do that. And eventually, like, it won't just be you texting them. Like, my current friends that I've made via the ways I explained, I'm not the only one that texts. Like, they text me too with moves. They text me too to hang out and do things. So I promise it will work out. It will work out in the long run. As far as maintaining the friendships, what I do personally, I know we're all adults, we're busy, people have jobs, careers, dreams they're chasing. It's harder now. It was different back when we all, you know, were in school and in certain clubs and things, because you had to see each other all the time. Now you have to be intentional about it. That's why I said there's no room for being embarrassed about text, hey, you want to do something, because that's what it takes now. So how I'm maintaining my friendships, I make sure I see my friends for the most part at least once a week. At least once a week. Minimum like every 2 weeks, I guess. But you want to maintain a consistent friendship, not a long distance friend, not a sometimey friend, but like a close friend. You're going to have to hang with them all the time, and you're going to have to make the space for that. So whether that's like a little movie night, if you don't feel like going out or don't have any money to go out or just don't want to go out, I do movie nights all the time. Or even if I'm just chilling in my house, hey, you trying to pull up? Hey, you want to come over? My two friends, Jennifer and Brandon, right? My acting class group of friends. Didn't mention them in this video because that would add too much time, honestly. But those are the only two friends I made in the last year. Or Jennifer I knew for a couple years, but those are the only two new friends in my new group of new friends that I made not via events or Bumble. Those two I met in my acting class. That's another way you can make friends, is through classes and memberships. I feel like that's a given. That's why I didn't want to mention it in this video, because everyone always says, oh, join something. Like, yeah, but when you join things, sometimes everyone is already clicked up and it's still awkward. But those two friends made in my acting class, got closer with them once they both moved to LA. Brandon moved out here last year. I got close with him because he was close with Jennifer, and I hung with Jennifer all the time. I had to stay in her house for a couple weeks while I waited on my rent, or while I waited on my apartment to become available when I was moving in. So boom, we're a little trio, right? I hang out with them at least once a week, probably more than that. Honestly, we hang out like 2 to 3 times a week because we can. You know, like we'll just pull up at each other's houses at night, like, hey, let's watch a movie, let's do this. Like they went to a wine festival the other week. I did not go, but that is an example of something that we do together. You have to be very intentional about the hangout. So whether that's a party, like I said, on the weekend, like I know with Skylar, it's typically like we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out. With Skylar, it's gonna be a party. On rare occasion, it's just a movie night or something chill, beach day if we have the time, if it's hot enough, you know, go to the park, you know, let's go shopping, let's go thrifting, like let's go out to eat if there's money to go out to eat, you know, because now I have really solid friends. I have the cool Bumble friends, I have the friends I've met through events, and I have my acting class friend group. So still, moral of this whole video, I still do not have a solid singular clique because again, I'm too all over the place. I have different friends for different reasons. However, I'm very content now with the friends I have. I see all these people very regularly. With these new friends, I'm going to make sure I follow up every week like I'm planning, or texting them every week with something. And even if I don't go out with them, at least like we're talking, you know what I mean? Especially in the beginning with the friendship, if you don't consistently hang, again, consistently meaning like every week or so. If you don't consistently hang, it's going to drop off and you're not going to really be friends. Because I've had a couple misses. There's been friends I made on Bumble where we hung out consistently for maybe a month or two and then dropped off the face of the earth and now we don't speak, you know, and like I'll follow up once or twice after that, like, hey, what's going on? And they kind of ghost. That can happen. It's okay. You shoot your shot, you hope it goes in, you hope you make a friend, and maybe you will. So that is the moral of this video. Honorable mention, another little tip, I didn't bring this up, but I'm gonna edit this somewhere in the video, wherever I decide to put it. Once you make these friends, you introduce them to each other. You introduce them to each other. That is how you build the friend groups. And because mind you, if you're meeting friends, especially on Bumble and stuff, or you're meeting girlies that don't have a clique, they don't already have a huge friend group, they're also looking for new friends. So that's how you make them meet each other. These new girlies I met on Bumble, I'm going to introduce them to the friends that I've met via events like Skylar and Aaliyah and whatever. We're all going to hang out together. Like I already introduced Aaliyah and Skylar together. Boom. Now we cool. And now when I go out, I have several people I can text and all of us can go out together and have a lit ass time. So that's my little spiel. Introduce your friends to each other. One of the girlies I met on Bumble is also an actor, so I'm gonna make sure I introduce her to my acting friends, right? So now, boom, more friends, and then we can introduce each other to more friends and more friends. And if you have roommates, that's another thing, your roommates' friends. I didn't bring up roommates or siblings or anything like that because I wanted to make this video assuming that you have zero means of making friends. There is nobody in your life you can make a connect through. I have a brother that's now out here with me. He don't have a million friends because he just moved to LA, so we're helping each other kind of make friends right now. And once we make friends, now boom, we can just meet more people. And another thing, okay, last little extra spiel. I'm gonna actually make this one short, unlike the last one that was 2 minutes. This is gonna be under 30 seconds, I swear it will. Just because someone doesn't have any friends or doesn't have many friends or tends to be a loner or they tend to go do things by themselves does not mean they're weird. That doesn't mean they're weird. They could be a weirdo. That's a possibility, but they also could just be shy, could be socially awkward and don't know how to approach situations, but they're actually a cool person. They just don't really know how to go about making friends. Or, oh no, it's gonna be over 30 seconds now. Or like me, right, your personality is all over the place, and because you spent many years not being yourself, you have consistently attracted friends that don't want to do the things that you do, i.e. going out. That's why when I go out, up until now that I have friends, when I go out, I'll like be by myself at so many places. That doesn't mean I'm a weirdo. It just means that I don't have any friends that like to party, and I'm fixing that. So don't be one of those people that's like, oh, you don't have friends, like weird, because they might not be weird. Now they could be. Investigate the situation. They could be weird, they could be dangerous, but 9 times out of 10 they're not, and they're just starting from scratch because they've yet to find anyone that really matched their vibe, and that is perfectly fine. I hope these things made sense. Recap really quick before I get shut out again so I can end this video. Meet friends through going to events. You can find events on TikTok, Eventbrite. Just look up certain things, figure out what you're interested in. Watch my video, How to Find Yourself, and my last I'll link the videos I want you to watch, the videos that are relevant to this one, because you have to figure out who you are and what you like if you're going to figure out where to go in order to meet the friends that are also like you. You can't make friends that are like you if you don't know you. So figure out yourself and go to events, go on Bumble BFF. I promise you it's like not weird. Everyone on there wants to make friends. Everyone I've talked to so far has been super cool. Sometimes I'll meet people and it don't really go nowhere. Sometimes it do. So you just got to keep shooting your shot. You cannot be embarrassed about it. And even if you are, fuck it. Watch my video. Embarrassment is not real. Linked here somewhere. And you will see what I mean. You literally can't care. Have the fear. You can be afraid to go places by yourself. That's okay. But you have to do it anyway. And tip number 3, be intentional and follow up with these people. You want to maintain friendships as an adult, and you're in your 20s, you have to be consistent. You have to text them, you have to hang out. Like, you have to hang out, whether it's going out and spending a little bit of money or not spending any money, y'all just chilling inside. Like, you got to do something. You got to do something if you want consistent friends. So I hope this helped. I know I talked really fast this whole video, but I had a lot to say in a little bit of time, and I don't want this video to be too long, and I don't want to run out of storage again. So goodbye.